All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Haloyam Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so once again, I want to go into this book again, man. All right, the devastation of the Indies, man. All right, which goes into all the atrocities, all right, and all the cruelty that Esau, Edom had put on the Israelites, all right, when they met with them in the Indies, man. All right, when they came over here to discover the new world, man. Okay, this book goes into the vile and inhumane things that Esau, Edom had done to the Israelites, man. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, man. All right, and Esau, Edom has a lot to pay for, and this book goes into it, man. All right, Esau, Edom used to set us on fire. All right, he used to they used to make games and make bets whether they could split us in half in just one stroke with the sword. All right, they used to rip our the pregnant women's bellies open, rip the babies out, then then dash the babies on stones. You see, they used to stab the pregnant women while killing the baby and the pregnant woman, the mother. All types of wickedness and atrocities, man. And this book goes into it, man. If you go, the last book I went into what was the tribe of Manasseh, Cuba, man. Before that, I went to the island Hispaniola, all right, which is the tribe of Simeon and the tribe of Levi, all right, which is you Haitians and Dominicans, man. And then before that, I went into the tribe of Ephraim, all right, and the tribe of Benjamin, which is you Puerto Ricans and you Jamaicans, man, you West Indians, man. All right. So what we want to deal with today, all right, is the tribe of Zebulun. All right, Nicaragua. All right, so let's get into it, man. All right, let's get into it. Let's zoom in. All right, as you see, the province of Nicaragua. All right, which is the tribe of Zebulun. All right, because this is the 12 tribe sign. All right, right here, the 12 tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. These are who the true Israelites are. All right, according to true history. All right, and biblical prophecy, man. All right, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, all right, are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right, now you got the tribe of Zebulun right here, all right, which is you Guatemalans all the way down to Panama, man. You Panamanians, man, which is all of Central America, man. All right, as you see right here, all right, from Guatemala all the way to Panama, man. All right, and then between that, you got Nicaragua. All right, so you Nicaraguenses, all right, y'all from the tribe of Zebulun, man. Y'all Israelites from the tribe of Zebulun, man. And that's what we about to go into, man. All right, you see, Esau, Edom, he has dealt treacherously, all right, with all the tribes, man. With all the tribes, Esau, Edom has dealt with treacherously, man. Right, the scriptures say that that Israel and Judah were oppressed together, man. Which Israel is the northern kingdom of Israel, and Judah represents the southern kingdom of Israel, man. You see? All right, so let's get into this book again, man. All right, the province of Nicaragua. All right, it says in the year 1523, which is 1523. All right, at the end of the year, this same tyrant, all right, which is Esau Edom, went into Nicaragua to subjugate that most flourishing province. And a sorrowful hour it was when he entered that land. All right, you see? All right, the scriptures say, when the wicked rule, the people mourneth. All right, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All right, that's why the whole earth is at mourning right now, because look who's ruling, the wicked. All right, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says when they went into that land, It says it was a sorrowful hour. Why? Because they were ready to slaughter, kill, and destroy. And that's all Esau Edom knows, man. All right? Kill, steal, destroy, create genocide, murder, cause hell and havoc upon this earth. All right? It says this same tyrant, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, all right, the Spaniards, all right, went into Nicaragua to subjugate that most flourishing province, and a sorrowful hour it was when he entered that land. You see, who could exaggerate the felicity, the good health and amenities of that prosperous and numerous population? Verily, it was a joy to behold that admirable province. All right. Oh, what happened here? It zoomed out by itself. What the hell? But let's just zoom in and keep reading. All right. It says, verily, it was a joy to behold that admirable province with its big towns, some of them extending 3 or 4 leagues, full of gardens and orchards and prosperous people. All right. But, because of our wickedness, Esau Edom, the Lord brought Esau Edom through, man. Our punishment wasn't up yet. All right. It says, but because this land is a great plain without any mountains where the people could take refuge, they had to follow with great anguish. All right. The Christians, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, to remain in the province and to suffer cruel persecutions from them. All right. It says, and since these Indians were by nature very gentle and peace-loving, the tyrant and his comrades, all right, inflicted such damage, carried out such slaughter, took so many captives, perpetrated so many unjust acts that no human tongue could describe them, all right? So Esau Edom dealt with you Israelites, all right, the tribe of Zebulun, in such a way that no words can describe, all right, the way they dealt with us, how treacherously they dealt with us, man. All right, again, Esau Edom has a lot to pay for because he severely touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man. You see? All right, it says, and since these Indians were by nature very gentle and peace-loving, yeah, because us Israelites, all right, we're God's chosen people, so by nature we're gentle and loving people, man. The Negro, Latino, Native American man. We come from up above, man. You see? Even people that want to destroy us, we still, loving towards them, man. All right? It says, and since these Indians were by nature very gentle and peace-loving, the tyrant and his comrades, all right, Esau Edom is that tyrant, all right, inflicted such damage, carried out such slaughters, took so many captives, perpetrated so many unjust acts that no human tongue could describe them, man. It says, he once sent 50 horsemen with pikes to destroy an entire province. Not a single human being survived. Not a single human being survived that massacre. Neither women nor children, nor aged or infirm. And that province was larger than the country of, next page, all right, Roussillon, in Spain. All right, it says, this terrible massacre was punishment for a trifling offense. Some Indians had not responded to a summons promptly enough when the tyrant had commanded that they bring him a load of maize, all right, or else, all right, had asked, in parentheses says the grain taking the place of the wheat in this region, all right, it says, or else had asked for more Indians to be assigned to serve him or his comrades, all right? And there was no place where the Indians could take refuge from the tyrant governor's wrath, all right? He sent companies of Spaniards to open up other provinces, that is to say, to attack and pillage the people in those provinces. They were allowed to capture as many Indians and they liked in peaceful settlements to become their slaves. All right. So Esau, Edom always had us in captive, man. All right, in slavery, man. All right. It says, and they put the captives in chains. All right. And this is the northern kingdom, you Zebulunites, man. All right. All right. You Nicaraguenses, man. All right. It says, and they put the captives in chains. All right. So Esau, Edom, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were oppressed together, man. Especially here in America. All right. It says, and they put the captives in chains and made them carry heavy loads, weighing as much as 3 arrobas. All right, it says, and they had to carry these cargoes on their backs for long marches. The result was that the number of captives soon dwindled, most of them dying from exhaustion, so that from 4,000 captives there remained only 6. Yeah. All right. You see, man, Esau, Edom got a lot to pay for, bro. All right, the way he dealt with the apple of the Lord's eye, you think the Lord forgot all about this stuff, man? All right, it says they left the dead bodies on the trail. They were decapitated corpses. All right, they were decapitated corpses, for when a captive sunk under the heavy load, the Spaniards cut off his head, which fell to one side, while the body fell to the other, while the captives chained together continued to march without interruption. Esau, Edom is truly the devil. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is truly the devil, man. All right. It says, when commanded to do similar labor with this experience behind them, the surviving Indians went off weeping and saying, "These are the roads down which we went to serve the Christians." In the past, even when we worked hard, we could return to our houses, our wives and children. But now we go without hope, all right, of ever again seeing them, all right? Let's keep reading. It says, this tyrant once took it into his head to make a new repartimento, all right, distribution of captives among the Spaniards, all right. This tyrant once took it into his head to make a new repartimento, all right, repartimento, all right. This being either a caprice or this being either a caprice of his, or, as was rumored, to rid himself of some Indians he disliked and pass them on to someone else. All right, this occurred at the time of the year when grain should be sold. All right, and it kept the Indians from their usual task at seed time. All right, later on, as a result, the Christians lacked grain, whereupon they seized the stores of grain the Indians kept for themselves and their families. All right, so they took all their food, man. All right, in the famine that followed, more than 30,000 Indians perished, all right, of starvation. And there were cases when a woman would kill and eat her own child in desperation. Wow, that's scriptural, bro. All right, the scriptures say, "You shall eat the flesh of your own sons and the flesh of your own daughters." All right, so that happened during this time, and it's also going to happen again in this time. All right, when this famine hits in America, man. All right, that's how bad it's going to get out here. When that's how bad the famine is going to hit here in America. That people are going to resort to cannibalism. People are going to eat their moms, their dads, their sons, their daughters. They're going to kill their best friends so they can eat that, man. That's going to happen in this time, man. That's how bad it's going to get out here. That's part of the time of Jacob's trouble. The famine, man. You see? All right. It says, in the famine that followed, more than 30,000 Indians Indians perished of starvation in the script, and that's a bad way to die, man. To starve. That's a very gruesome way to die, man. It's to starve, man, because your body it starts to eat itself from the inside out, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in the scriptures. All right, the scriptures say it is better to die by the sword than to perish of famine. Woo. All right, it is. I think that's how it goes, if I'm not mistaken. All right, yeah, this is Lamentations. All right. Yeah, all right, you got it in two places, I think. All right, this is Lamentations 4 and 9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. Yeah, all right. It is better to just die, get killed, all right, than to die by hunger. Yeah, because that's a gruesome death, man. Your body starts to eat itself. It starts to eat itself, man, because it got nothing else to, it got nothing else to burn, man. All right. So that's also in is that in second Ezra 16:22? Oh no, this is something else. Yeah, all right. Yep. Yep. All right. This is going into the famine. This is going into the famine that's going to happen in this time. All right. I read this, when I was out on the highways and hedges the other day. All right. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. That's getting ready to happen, all right? And other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, you see? So if you're allotted for destruction, if you're the 2/3 that is allotted for destruction, all right, you're going to die one way or another, man. All right? So let's keep going. It says, in the famine that followed, more than 30,000 Indians, it says, in the famine that followed, more than 30,000 Indians perished of starvation. And there were cases when a woman would kill and eat her own child in desperation. And again, that's scriptural. Let's bring that out. All right. The scriptures say that a man shall eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter, man. All right. And that's going to happen in this time as well. All right. So we'll get it right here. All right. Point is in verse 3, but I'll start at verse 1. It says, therefore Yahweh had made good his word which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings and against our princes and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. All right, and that's getting ready to happen in this time. It happened before, all right, like we're reading, all right, and it's going to happen again. All right, this is why you got to come back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right, you got to start bowing down to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. Bro, because what's getting ready to pass is something crazy, bro. Civil war, race wars and race riots on a very high and great and grand scale. On a scale that your mind can't even fathom. You going to, bro, you people are going to start seeing apparitions, like the scriptures say. People are going to start seeing people are going to bug out. They're going to be able to see demons and stuff. The Lord going to bug these people out in these last days, man. And you don't want to be a part of that, bro. This is why you got to come back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. You got to bow down and weep and cry and beg for mercy, man. To Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. Come back, start keeping the laws to the best of your ability, man. Stop committing adultery. Stop smoking. Stop eating foods that you're not supposed to be eating, man. Start keeping the Sabbath. Stop killing, stealing. From another Israelite man. woman and child, man. From anybody, because the scriptures say, be wise as a serpent, man, and harmless as a dove, man. And if it be possible, live peaceably among all men. You got to walk circumspectly, walk wisely, man. You know? All right? It says, let's continue reading. It says, since all the settlements of the Indians in this fertile land, all right, were situated in the midst of gardens and orchards, the Christians resided in them, each Christian taking over the houses of the Indians, all right, who had been allocated to him according to the royal grant known as the encomienda, all right. And the scriptures say that they covered fields, man. They even cover a man. Let me just get that real quick, all right. I think that's in the book of Psalms, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. It says, matter of fact, let me read up. Let's go to Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity. Who is that? That's Esau, Edom. And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because the power is in their hand. Come on, bro. That's Esau, Edom. That describes Esau, Edom to the T, because the rulership of this earth is in his hand right now. All right. And they wake up the very morning they wake up. All right. Starting with the elite banking families. The wicked elite Illuminati Edomite banking families, man. Soon as they wake up, they start worshiping Satan. The very second they wake up to the very second they go to bed, man. It says, woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, all right? They covet fields, talking about Esau, Edom. They take away landmarks, man. All right, just like they did to, like we're reading it in the book, man. The devastation of the Indies, and they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yeah, and that's exactly what they did to us. They oppressed us. All right, a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. They took our heritage away. All right, and then now, they claim and they walk around pretending to be us, man. Okay, all right, man. All right, let's read verse 3. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. All right, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily. All right, for this time is evil. All right, now let's go back. All right, it says, the Indian who had owned the house now worked for the Christian as his servant, cooking his meal, tilling the soil, working without rest. And that's how we going to treat Esau, Edom in the kingdom. When the Lord comes back and raises us up, all right, us true Israelites, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, to be kings and gods and rulers of this planet Earth once again, the scriptures say, all right, those who lead into captivity shall go into captivity, and those who kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. All right, that's Revelation 13:10. So the way they dealt with us, we gonna deal with them twice-fold, man. That's how they gonna be with us in the kingdom of heaven, when they're our slaves and they're our servants, man. All right, because they're gonna be our slaves and our servants, our handmaids. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, cooking his meals, tilling the soil, working without rest. The only rest that Esau, Edom is going to get is on the Sabbath day in the kingdom of heaven, because the whole earth is going to rest on the Sabbath day in the kingdom of heaven. All right, it says, oh, the pitiful Indians, all right, men and women, the aged and the children, all worked for this Spanish Christian, yeah, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, all right. And that's why we ended up speaking Spanish, all right? Because they conquered us, all right? And they gave us their language, man. All right, which really, it was first created by the Moors and during the time of the Byzantine Empire, but they took it, all right? And then when they enslaved, when they came to the Indies, they gave it to us, man. All right? It says, for the children, as soon as they could stand on their legs, were put to work, bro. Yo, if you can't see that Esau Edom is the devil, like the pure devil, bro, I just don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you, bro. The scriptures say if let's get it, bro. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Job 9. Let's get it. Job 9 and 24. All right. It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Yeah, the wicked is talking about Esau, Edom. They're known as the wicked race in the Bible. All right. When you go to Malachi, the 1st chapter, all right, the Edomites are known as the border of wickedness. All right. The wicked is talking about the wicked race, all right, that the Lord created, which is the Edomite race, the so-called white man. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Yeah, so right now, the wicked is ruling. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the earth is in his hands right now. All right, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Yeah, he covered the faces of the judges. All right, he whitewashed all the pictures of the apostles and the Messiah. All right, he covered the faces of the judges, which are the prophets. All right, if not, where and who is he? Yeah, if Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is not the devil, all right, then where and who is the devil? All right, if not, where and who is he? All right, that's what it's saying. All right. If Esau, Edom is not the devil, then where is he? All right. And who is he? All right. Come on, man. All right. Let's go back into the book, man. All right. It says, and thus the Indians have been used up and consumed. Woo! All right. That's scriptural too, because the scriptures say, till I have consumed thee. Ooh, let's go. Right, if I'm not mistaken, consume thee. All right, KJV. All right, that was part of the curses, man. All right, yeah. One example is in Deuteronomy 28. All right, which states, "And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And Yahweh thy God will make thee plenteous in the work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle." That's going into the blessings. All right. Let me see real quick. Let me just get to the point. It says, if thou turn not unto him to cleave unto him, then will Yahweh place over thee the curse. All right, and the curse and the curse, and they shall pursue thee and overtake thee till they have consumed thee. All right, and that's part of the curses, man, being slaughtered. All right, the Lord said he was going to leave us few in number. All right, the Lord said, and thou shalt be left few in number. All right, let's grab that real quick. Let me grab Google real quick though. All right, let me exit out this real quick. All right, till thou be left few in number. All right. All right, that's part of the curses, man. All right, when you read Deuteronomy 28 chapter, is going into the curses that the Lord was going to put upon us. All right, the scriptures say, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. Yeah, so the Lord sent Esau, Edom, all right, against us, all right, to slaughter us and destroy us, man. All right, and ye shall be left few in number, where ye were as the stars of heaven. Yeah, we were as the stars of heaven, innumerable. All right, and it says, and ye shall be left few in number. All right, come on, man. Let me see if I could grab another verse. All right, is it consumed? Consume or consumed with it, past tense. Let me see real quick. Ooh. All right. All right, this is part of the curses. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 21. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. All right. And we're reading right here. All right. That it says, and thus the Indians have been used up and consumed. Woo. And the few who survive are still being wasted away. Left few in number, man. All right. Nor are these hard-working Indians allowed to own a house or anything of their own. And in this respect, the Spaniards in Nicaragua have gone beyond the excess of injustice that have prevailed on the island of Hispaniola. Crazy, man. The scriptures say they have furthered the affliction, man. All right, Zechariah 1:15. All right, the greatest and most horrible pestilence that has laid waste the province of Nicaragua was the freedom given by the governor to his subordinates in the matter of petitioning slaves from the caciques of the towns. They petitioned every 4 or 5 months, and each time a new allotment. The governor could obtain 50 slaves at a time by threatening the cacique, all right, with being burned at the stake or thrown to the fierce dogs if he refused. Since the Indians do not commonly have slaves, at the most a cacique may have 2 or 3 or 4. He simply went through the settlement, taken to begin with all the orphans, all right, then taking 1 son from those who had 2 and 2 sons from those who had 3. In this way, the cacique completed the number demanded by the tyrant with loud lamentations, all right, and weeping by the people, all right. And there's a scripture, there's a book in the Bible called the Book of Lamentations, man. All right, and weeping by the people, for it seems they most greatly loved their sons. And since this act was repeated many times, the whole kingdom became depopulated during the 20s and until the year 33. All right, so the scriptures say that we will be left few in number. All right, the whole kingdom became depopulated during the 20s and until the year 33, man. All right, and ye shall be left few in number. See, these scriptures speak, man. You see? All right, so let's keep reading. All right, it says, for this transaction was aided by 6 or 7 ships voyaging along the coast to take on board and sell the surplus requisition slaves in Panama and Peru. All right, and all of those captives soon died. For as it has been ascertained, all right, from experience repeated 1,000 times, all right, the Indians, when uprooted from their native land, very soon perished. Then, too, they are never given enough to eat, and their labor is never lightened in any way, since they are bought and sold to do only heavy work. And that's how it is now, man. It's like we work hard as hell and we never have enough to eat, man. All right, our people got to work 2 or 3 jobs just to get by, especially nowadays. You see? All right. It says, then too, they are never given enough to eat, and their labor is never lightened in any way. All right. Since they are bought and sold to do only heavy work. There's nothing new under the sun. All right. Thus more than 500, all right, thousand Indians, thus more than 500,000 Indians were torn out of this province and sold into slavery. All right, and those Indians, all right, had been as free as I am. All right, in the infernal wars waged by the Spaniards, another 500,000 or 600,000 souls have perished up to the present time. And these ravages continue, all right? Perpetual hatred, man, all right? Ezekiel 35, all right? In a matter of 14 years, this province has undergone these things. There must now be in Nicaragua, there must now be in Nicaragua 4 or 5,000 Spaniards who kill each day through acts of violence, oppression, and servitude, numerous Indians, and they boast that they have established one of the great population centers in the world. That's the pride of Esau, man. All right, but the Lord said he gonna bring him down. All right, the Lord said, "Thence will I bring him down." All right. So you see how Esau Edom has dealt with Israel, man. The northern and the southern kingdom. All right, this is something we had to go through as a punishment, man. All right, up until this very day, man. Right, but our punishment is almost up, man. All right, the curses are coming off of us and going on to Esau, man, our enemies, man. Esau and the rest of our enemies, the other nations, the heathen nations, man. So, Lord willing, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Raktazah, this lesson was edifying, all right? I want to say call Halal Yum, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakah Quitash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, shalom, shalom.